When you watch a movie, especially this type of movie, it's an experience, and you sit back and you relax. And there are many ways the director might try to manipulate you so that you have a good time, so that the price of the ticket is worth it. And this time there were some pretty cool tricks that I didn't see before, and perhaps that's the reason the impact was more. For example, now this is the regular screen of the movie. Now this is what most of the movie is in this aspect ratio. This is what the movie is. Then suddenly there is a scene. It's a great scene where we have some, fly fishing, and suddenly it becomes wider. There are black above and below, and it becomes wider, and you see the fishes more. It's much wider. Then in another shot, the image changes vertically. We see blacks over here, and it becomes the aspect ratio changes. And this is actually this is later on when I bought the book. This is what the book cover looks like. And I guess, I don't know, do you call it cheating or something? It doesn't matter. It's as long as the audience is having a great time, it's cool. So this is pretty interesting. Now, the book is very different. I haven't read the entire book. I'm in chapter 27 or 28. The book is very different. First of all, so far, the book is just someone telling a story. So first, there's a writer who says, I wanted to write a story, and I found a story. And then in the next chapter, Pi is talking. Next chapter, the writer is saying what he thinks about Pi. Next chapter, then Pi is also talking, and it's not like a story structure. He's just telling what happens to him when he was young, and on and on. And it's very different. And so far, in the content, it says there are 100 chapters. The book has 100 chapters. And it's not like a story. So far, two people are talking, the writer and Pi. And some of the chapters, they're like 2 or 3 lines. That's it. End of chapter. And it's very different. And I guess it's not the if you like the book, or if you read the book, or if you read the book, it would be a different experience. I'm talking about the movie in 3D. That's completely different. I'm not talking about you know what the ideas or anything. I'm saying it's a spectacular movie, and it's a great way to take your family and watch the movie. So that's what I'm talking about. One final thing, when we're talking about the art of movie making, the art of writing a book, and the art of doing anything, so uh what could be art? Well, this is what I think. uh I think it's about ideas. I think art is about having some ideas. Suppose it's like air molecules, and you put it in an airtight container. The better your container, the better your art. So I think it's about a container to your ideas. Now, otherwise you just lose your ideas, or you lose the air molecules. It's a container. That's how I think about it. And you might have some ideas and put it in a story. So that's by words. And in terms of if it's a stage play or drama, it has to be dialogues. And if it's a painting, it's just colors. And you know and if it's a movie, it's, I guess, the image, the light, the sound, and everything else. So that's how it works. But does that mean that if it has to be the art of anything, it has to have some ideas? Well, no. Sometimes if you have no ideas, just a new form of a container. Other people, who want to put their ideas in a different type of container, might like your container, and they would give you credit for your art. This time the art is in the doing, or just the container. That's how I think about it. So even if it has no idea at all, even then it could be an art. And because some other people would take that, which other people would think maybe it's not useless, but that container might be used for some other purpose. And it doesn't have to be. If it is art, it doesn't mean it is grand or something, that this is it. No, not necessarily. uh, for example, if I talk about logic or argument, If I say rice is grown in Bangladesh, any country that grows rice also grows potatoes. So Bangladesh grows potatoes. Well, that's a valid argument. So that's a valid argument. On the other hand, if I say red fruits are poisonous and orange, the fruit orange is a red fruit, and my conclusion is so orange is poisonous. Orange is poisonous. Well, it's a valid argument. Well, it's absolute nonsense, but doesn't matter. It's a valid argument. If you say, can I come to the conclusion? Yes, absolutely. From this to premise, the premises might be wrong, but the conclusion is fine. It's a valid argument. And sometimes you get not a ridiculous conclusion, you get a logical conclusion. For example, if we say everything sweet is red. So rose tastes sweet, rose is red. Now this is a valid argument, and the conclusion is right. Rose is red, but it is not necessarily the way we concluded here, that rose tastes sweet and everything. It's not about taste of the rose that makes it red. Something like that. So if something has a uh, it is art of writing, it's a good novel or something, it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be something that you agree with, or it doesn't mean that you have to accept it. Just an idea, some ideas you put it inside. Well, that's how I think of it.